Welcome back, everyone. We hope that you're really enjoying all of our live videos today. We really wanted to have different conversations and start meaningful action here in the state of Indiana. So I'm so excited for this next segment that we have. It's about employment. And as someone who works in HR, it's something that's very dear to my heart. A quote that I really like by a self-advocate is that employment is defining aspect of an adult's life. And so we're going to have a conversation here today, and I'm going to take it over, let them take it over, excuse me. I'm going to have Executive Director Barb Morris with me and Justin. So they're going to take it over, and I'll be back in just a little bit.
Thank you so much. Hi, again, my name is Justin Morris, and this is my mom, who's the CEO. This is Barb Morris, sorry, who's the CEO of Meals on Wheels of Central Indiana. She's been the CEO for 25 years, and we wanted to talk about someone that's very special in our lives, who's always been a part of our lives, her sister, little sister, Georgianne, who's my Aunt Georgianne. So do you want to tell us a little bit about my Aunt Georgianne?
Oh, sure. She was born in 1958. She was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful blonde hair, curly blonde hair, and she was just such a wonder to be around. She was just amazing little girl. Unfortunately, she passed away of leukemia when she was 2 years old. So, but because of her very short life, my parents were very inspired to continue her story way beyond her 2 years. So, you want to ask?
Sure. Well, I don't think we've touched on yet the significance of the Georgianne name. So you want to go?
Well, the obvious answer was my father's name was George, and that name came from him, but also her middle name, Anne, or Georgianne, came from my grandmother, Anna. So it was a combination of two wonderful people. So.
In 1958, what kind of resources were available for someone like Georgianne, Down syndrome?
Resources for people with Down syndrome, there were none. Unfortunately, there was just not a lot of information, and my parents were given one choice at that time, and that was to put her in an institution. So what I'm very, very proud of is the day they were going to put her in the institution, thinking this was their only resource, that my mother went inside one last time to look inside and left my little sister in the car with my dad and came out and said, "We're not doing this. We're taking her home." And my parents advertised in the Hammond Times. I still have that little ad, and they asked to locate other parents of children with disabilities, and they started the Loving Care Nursery. It was started in my living room, and joined with other parents to form Lake County ARC program in Lake County, Indiana. And my dad went on to be their first president, and my mother was their first director. And after my sister passed away, they continued to build resources. So my parents stayed very involved And in fact, my father stayed very involved until his death in '01. So it was a passion. And even though they were heartbroken that they lost a child, they turned it into their personal mission.
And with my Aunt Georgianne, she's with us every day in our hearts.
Yes.
It's lead this decision of having DSI share the same building as Meals on Wheels and the Soul Center and working together. When you say that's how you kind of started that relationship with Lisa?
Right, Lisa Wells. We first met a few years ago. There was an article in a magazine, Indianapolis Woman, about my upbringing and the story. And I sent it to Lisa, shared it with her. I didn't know Lisa at the time, and shared it with her. And I got a beautiful card back from her. And this is when we made our connection, our first connection. And then when we bought this building, or developing the concept of this building, I knew the board had given me the ability to put people in the building that I could feel comfortable with, as well as people that I personally, organizations that I personally believed in. And that's when I wanted to share this building with Down Syndrome Indiana. So,
and with that partnership that's developed, we've been able to have volunteers and employees from DSI work with us. Do you want to?
Well, Brandy, our next guest, will be sharing that a little bit more, as well as with Ellen, one of our wonderful employees, and they'll be talking a little bit more about that. But there were a couple other things that I wanted to share.
Oh, okay. Well, let's back up a little bit then and talk about Grandpa George's involvement with the legislation.
Yes. That was very important because obviously he continued to work very diligently towards making change and providing resources. And as it happened, Hubert Humphrey, Vice President Hubert Humphrey's granddaughter, a person with Down syndrome, was Victoria, was born right the year my sister passed away. And because of their friendship, they were able to work to develop legislation that would be offer protections. He also introduced employment in the community in Lake County, Indiana, helping people with Down syndrome to seek and find employment in that area. So all of this has inspired me to what we've done and been able to create in this building. And I see that my time is coming to an end, but I did want to do a shout out to all of the parents of people with Down syndrome, because I want them to understand how powerful their work has been to affect change with this community, our community. So thank you for this opportunity.
And thank you, DSI, for having us and the support that you give to the families. Thank you.
So we're going to do a quick shuffle and we're going to bring on some associates of Meals on Wheels. So we have our communications director, Brandy, and one of the employees and self-advocate, Ellen. They are getting in their seats now, but we're so excited to share with you all Ellen's experience. You know, the first quote that we use to open up this segment is all about employment and how integral that is in a person's growth and then their success. So I think they're seated, so we're gonna go ahead and send on over to Ellen and Brandy.
Hi, how are you? My name is Brandy Chacharet, and Communications Manager for Meals on Wheels, and I'm here with Ellen.
Hi.
Hi. We're so happy to be here today. Wanted to talk a little bit more about our partnership with employment with DSI, and we are a strong believer in inclusion in the workplace. And inclusion in the workplace for us is making sure that there's an environment where everybody is respected, they have the same and equal amount of opportunities, and they feel and they actually are equal contributors to the success of our organization. And we are so lucky to have that in Marty, Molly, Joel, Peter, and now Ellen. So Ellen, would you like to tell us what you do for Meals on Wheels?
I'm working.
You work in the pantry?
Yes.
And then today I think is an office day for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you help with filing?
Starting, do other stuff.
Yeah.
In office.
And what else? What do you like about working with us?
I think it's a lot of fun
Okay.
to be here working.
And you work with Parker and Katie and
Yes.
Allison. And do you feel like you really help us out?
Yes.
I think you do too. We love having you here. And again, so we're just so happy. As you can see, Ellen is a great member of our team. And Molly and Marty deliver 5 days a week to the Noble Center. And like you said, Ellen, Peter, and Joel are in our pantry. And then Ellen also helps in our office. And they are integral parts of what we do every day to help those that are homebound and food insecure have food access. So we're so happy with this partnership, and we just like to thank Lisa and Down Syndrome of Indiana. We rocked our socks today, and we hope that you'll support them in all that they do. Right here it goes. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, we didn't know if you were going to enter or not, but we're going to give you guys a few more pointers really quickly. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I wanted to leave you all with some numbers and some statistics. If you're a data-driven person like me, you might find some joy in that. So people with disabilities have an 85% retention rate. What does that mean? That's the highest in the United States for any demographic or minority group. Any group in the United States. So that's amazing. And 80% of people who have a job want a job that pays. So that puts that into perspective. So if you have a small business or you're a boss, we want to hire more individuals with Down syndrome or any disability to be a part of your team. So thank you all so much for joining. This hour has been amazing. So we're calling all of our business owners this hour. Please make a donation. Use the hashtag DSI. I get this mixed up every time, so sorry guys. Hashtag DSI Day of Giving and hashtag DSI WDSD and make your donation. And we'll see you guys. We're getting so close to the flash mob at 5:30. We're so excited. So thank you all so much for tuning in.